Hello everyone, I am Divya, your math facilitator. In this video, we shall discuss the solutions of exercise 2.5 starting from question number 2 of class 8. So I have discussed question number 1 which contains 12 bits solving the equations in the previous video. Do watch that video because there I discussed how to solve the equations, and if you know how to solve the equations then you can proceed to the word problems, right? Come on. So I'll just pin up that video here in the I button. So click on the I button and watch the first video of this exercise, and let us move on to the second question of this exercise. What number is that which the third part exceeds the fifth part by 4? Okay, so the question is, what number is that which the third part exceeds the fifth part by 4? Okay, so there is a number whose third part exceeds the fifth part by 4. Okay, so firstly we don't know what the number is, so let the number be x. Okay, so let us take the number as x. Okay, now what is given? The third part of the number. So how do you take parts? It is nothing but fraction, isn't it? Fraction is nothing but parts. Yes, so third part of the number. So third part of the number is represented by what? Third part of number is nothing but x divided by 3. Okay, third part of x is x by 3. Okay, now what is fifth part? Fifth part, similarly the fifth part of x, the fifth part of the number. Okay, the number is x, so fifth part of the number is x by 5. Okay, so once you know this, now what is the condition given? The third part exceeds the fifth part by 4. Okay, that means the third part is 4 more than the fifth part. So how can you write this? Suppose if I say 6 exceeds 4 by 2. 6 is a number which exceeds 4 by 2. That means if you subtract 6 minus 4, it is 2. That is the meaning of this, isn't it? 6 exceeds 4 by 2, which means if I subtract 4 from 6, I'll get 2. Okay, so here also, third part exceeds fifth part by 4. That means if I subtract this fifth part from third part. So, similar, compare it with numericals, it will be easy for you, okay? So, here, 6 exceeds 4 by 2. That means 6 minus 4 is 2. So, here, third part exceeds fifth part by 4. That means x by 3. Third part is x by 3 minus x by 5 gives you 4. Okay, now simple, just take LCM and solve it and try to get the value of x. So that is the answer because x is the number, isn't it? You have taken the number is x. So let us take LCM here. So we learned how to solve equations of this type. So LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. Okay, now here you have 3 and this is 15. So what should you multiply to the denominator 3 so that you get 15? So 3 5 is a 15, isn't it? So numerator also will multiply by 5. Here you have 5. So 5 3 is a 15. To equate to 15, you have to multiply this 5 by 3. So here also you'll multiply numerator by 3. Okay. So this is x into 5 is nothing but 5x. You have minus, right? Minus x into 3 is 3x is equals to 4. Okay. Is equals to 4. Okay. So what is 5x minus 3x? 5x minus 3x is nothing but 2x. Isn't it? 5x minus 3x is 2x divided by 15 you have is equal to 4. I just want the value of x. So I'll send this 15 to RHS. So transposing 15 to RHS, this is division. So it becomes multiplication. Okay, so now I want the value of x. How will I get the value of x? X is nothing but 4 multiplied by 15. Now this 2 is in multiplication. Transposing it to RHS, it becomes division. Solving this, 2 ones are 2 twos are, isn't it? Now 2 15s are, it is nothing but 30. Okay, 2 15s are 30. So x is 30. Now what is x? You have taken x as a number, isn't it? Therefore the required number is 30. Clear? Let us move on to the next one now. So the difference between two positive integers is 36. The quotient when one integer is divided by the other is 4. You have to find the integers, okay? So you don't know what are the integers. Take one integer as x, okay? So let one of the number let one number is x. Okay, take one number is x. So what is the other number? Here you can see the difference between two positive integers is 36. Okay, if I say the difference between two numbers, okay, so for example, let us take two numbers 12 and 8. If the difference between these two numbers, if I say it is 4, so can I write one number? So can I write 12 as 12 minus 4 will give me 8? Isn't it? Can I write one number as this? Yes. So using the same logic, okay, the number minus the difference gives you the other number, isn't it? So using the same logic here, the other number will be what? It will be x minus 36. Okay, because the difference is 36. Okay, so compare it with numericals. Here you see two numbers 12 and 8 I am taking, so subtracting 12 minus 8 will give me 4. That means the difference is 4, isn't it? So difference is 4. Now if I want one number, suppose if I want the number 8, so if I subtract 4 from this 12, I am getting 8. Okay, similarly here one number I have taken it as x. The difference between two numbers is 36, so I want the other number, so I'll just subtract 36 from this x, so I'll get the other number. Okay, so now the next condition is the quotient when one integer is divided by the other is 4. Now what is quotient? How will you get it? Suppose if I am dividing 6 by 3, so I'll get it as 3 ones are 3 twos are 6. Okay, the answer is 2. This answer is nothing but the quotient, isn't it? The same 6 if I divide it in this way, so 3 twos are 6, isn't it? This quotient is nothing but the answer. Yes, so that means I am dividing it in this way, so this 2 which I am getting is the answer, which is nothing but the quotient. Okay, so the quotient is 4. Okay, so given quotient of two numbers is nothing but 4. Okay, so using these three conditions, let us write the equation. Okay, so here you will get it in this way. So just see, so the bigger number you will write up, isn't it? The bigger number you will write in numerator. Now is x bigger or x minus 36 bigger? X is bigger, isn't it? So see here, is 12 bigger or 12 minus 4 is bigger? Obviously 12 is bigger because 12 minus 4 is 8, which is small number. Here also x is bigger, so bigger number you will write it in numerator divided by smaller number you will write it in denominator. So the quotient, when you are dividing these two, the quotient, that means the answer is 4. Okay, clear? So simple. Once you write this step, then the next steps are simple cross multiplication. Okay, this type of equation we have solved it, isn't it? So cross multiply here and see. So what will you get? So cross multiplying, so x is equals to, cross multiplying, so x is equals to 4 multiplied by x minus 36. Okay, so x is equals to, just distribute this, so 4 into x is 4x, you have minus 4 into 36 will give you what? So don't calculate, let us write it here in this way. Okay, 4 into 36. Now 4x, you have to find the value of 4x, x, isn't it? So let me send this x to RHS. Okay, so this is nothing but, and I just want to send this minus 4 into 36. This is minus 4 into 36, which is a negative number. This negative number, I just want to transpose it to LHS. So it becomes positive, isn't it? So this becomes 4 into 36. This becomes positive. This was a negative number. Transposing this negative number to LHS, it becomes positive. I have 4x here, let it be there. And this plus x, I just want to transpose it to RHS, so it becomes minus x. Okay, now just solving 4 into 36 now is equals to 4x minus x. 4x minus x is 3x. Okay, I just want the value of x, so keep x in RHS and just send 3 to LHS, so it becomes 4 into 36. This 3 is in multiplication, transposing into LHS it becomes division. Now 3 ones are 3 twelves are, so 4 twelves is 48, so x is nothing but 48. Okay, so x is nothing but the number. So the number is 48. So one number is 48. Here you see one integer. So one number is x is 48. So what about the other number? The other number, you have taken it as x minus 36, isn't it? See, the other number you have taken it as x minus 36. So it will be 48. X is 48. So 48 minus 36. Okay, so it is 48 minus 36. So this is 8 minus 6 is 2, this is 1. So the other number is 12. One number is 48 and the other number is 12. Okay, let us move on to the next question. The numerator of a fraction is 4 less than the denominator. Okay, the numerator is 4 less than denominator. If 1 is added to both its numerator and denominator, it becomes 1 by 2. You have to find the fraction. Okay, so just see the first sentence. Numerator of a fraction is 4 less than denominator. That means numerator is compared with denominator. Okay, so let the denominator is x. Okay, since numerator is compared with denominator, we shall take the denominator as x. So what is numerator? Numerator is nothing but 4 less than denominator. That means you have to subtract 4 from this denominator. Okay, so numerator is x minus 4. Now what is the condition? See the next condition. If 1 is added, now if 1 is added to both numerator and denominator, so numerator is x minus 4, denominator is x. So this is the fraction. Now if 1 is added to both numerator and denominator, so this is what you get. So this fraction becomes 1 by 2. It is given, isn't it? So now, so just solve this. So this is x minus 4 plus 1 gives you minus 3 divided by x plus 1 is 1 by 2. Okay, so simple cross multiplication you do. So 2 into x minus 3 is nothing but 1 into x plus 1. Okay, so 2 into x, so distributing 2 into x is 2x, you have minus 2 3s are 6. Okay, so this is 6 is equals to 1 into x is x and 1 into 1 is 1. So this becomes x plus 1. Now just send this x to LHS because I want the value of x. So this is 2x, this is plus x. Going into LHS, it becomes minus x is equals to, you have 1 here. Transpose this minus 6 here, it becomes plus 6. So 2x minus x is equals to 7. So what is this? X is 7. That means the denominator is 7. Okay. Denominator. X is nothing but the denominator, isn't it? So denominator is 7. So what about the numerator? How will you get the numerator? Numerator, you have taken it as x minus 4. So numerator is x minus 4. X is 7. So 7 minus 4 gives you 3. Now, how will you write the fraction? Fraction is nothing but the numerator divided by denominator. Numerator is 3, denominator is 7. So, therefore, the required fraction is 3 by 7. Clear? Let us move on to the next one. Find 3 consecutive numbers such that if they are divided by 10, 17, 26 respectively, the sum of their quotients will be 10. Now in the previous problem also I told you, if you have something like this, okay, if the quotient is nothing but you will write it in this way, isn't it? The quotient is 10. If I say the quotient is 10, that means if you divide x by 2, the answer is 10, isn't it? We did a similar problem in this way. Let me show you. Okay, so yes, so here we did x by x minus 36 is 4. The quotient is given as 4, so you'll write that dividing these two, the answer is 4, isn't it? So the same logic we are going to use it now here. So see, 3 consecutive integers you have to take. Okay, so what is the meaning of consecutive? Consecutive is nothing but the next integers. Okay, suppose if one integer is 6, so the next integer is 7, the next integer is 8. Okay, these are 3 consecutive integers. That means 1 by 1. Okay, the next integers. So if the 6, if I take it as x, 7 I can write as x plus 1, isn't it? So just here, this is 6, 7 I can write as 6 plus 1, isn't it? 8 I can write as 6 plus 2. Yes, if the 6 I am taking it as x. So this is nothing but x plus 1. So 7 I can write as x plus 1. 8 I can write as x plus 2. Isn't it? So that's the meaning of consecutive integers. So the consecutive integers are x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Got my point how to write? So if one integer is x, if you add 1 to this, you will get the second integer, the next integer. If you are adding again 2 to this, you will get the next consecutive integer. Okay. So this is how we write. Clear? So let us do the problem now. Yes. So the consecutive integers, now as I explained you, let us take the consecutive integers as x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Okay. So let the consecutive integers be x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. Now it is given that the integers are divided by 10, 17 and 26 respectively. That means the first integer is divided by 10. Okay, so it is x by 10. Second integer is divided by 17. So it is x plus 1 by 17. And third integer is divided by 26. So it is x plus 2 by 26. Okay. When these are divided, the sum of their quotient. So when will you get quotient? That means when you divide x plus 10, the answer which you are getting is the quotient for this. When you are dividing x plus 1 by 17, the answer which you are getting is the quotient for this fraction. When you're dividing x plus 2 by 26, the quotient is nothing but the answer for this fraction. So these quotients, okay, nothing but these answers if you're adding, okay, if you're adding, so the answer, final answer you're getting is 10. Okay, see here, the sum of their quotients. When do you get quotient? When you divide it in this way, you get quotient. So these quotient the sum is giving you 10. Okay, now simple, this is the framing of the equation. Now you have to simply solve it. So how do you solve it? Here all x variables, you have three terms with x variables. So simple, take LCM here. So taking LCM of 10, 17 and 26, what do you get? You get 2210. Okay, taking LCM of 10, 17 and 26, you get 2210. Just see here, 10, 17 and 26. Okay, so 5 2s are 10, 17 is a prime number. Okay, 26 you have. Now 2 ones are 17 is a prime number. Now 26 becomes 13. Okay, 2 13s are 26. Now 5 2s are 10, 10 17s are 170 and 170 13s are 210. Okay, so this is how you calculate the LCM. Okay, so now as I told you, here in the denominator you have 210 and here you have 10. So what should you multiply so that, what should you multiply to 10 so that you get 210? So you will multiply it with 221, isn't it? So here in numerator also you'll multiply with 221. So this becomes 221x. Okay, plus now here you see the next one, here you have 17. What should you multiply to 17 so that you'll get 210, 2210? So here you'll multiply with 130. Okay, so multiplying 17 with 130 will give you 2210. So since you are multiplying denominator by 130, numerator also you will multiply by 130. Okay, and here you have 26. So what will you multiply with 26 so that you will get 2210? You have to multiply with 85. Okay, so this is also will multiply with 85. So simple, let us write all the fractions now. So this is 221 into x is 221x, okay, plus 130 multiplied by x plus 1 plus x plus 2 multiplied by 85 gives you 10. Okay, now solving this you will get the answer. Okay, so let us write it here. So this is 221x plus, so just multiply it. So this is 130 into x is 130x plus 130 into 1 is 130. So this is 130x plus 130 plus, what do you have here? 85 into x is 85. So this is 85 plus 85 into 2. It is nothing but 170. Okay, so this is 170 whole divided by, you have 2210. This is 2210 is equals to, you have 10. Just send this 2210 to RHS, so it becomes multiplication, isn't it? Here it is in division. So this becomes, so 221x plus 130x plus 85x. This is 85x, isn't it? So yes, this is 85x. Yes, so adding all these x terms, what will you get? 221, 130 plus 85. So this is 6, this is 13, this is 4. So this becomes 436x plus I have 130 plus 170 gives me 300 is equals to this 2210. I'm sending it to RHS, so it becomes 10 into 2210. Okay, now I just want the value of x, isn't it? So I just keep 436x on LHS and send transpose 300 to RHS. So this becomes, now multiplying this is nothing but 22100. Simple multiplication by 10, isn't it? 10 extra you will get minus 300. This plus 300 becomes minus 300 coming to RHS. Now 436x is equal to, what is the answer? This answer you will get it as 21800. 2210 22,100 minus 300 gives you 21,800. So I want the value of x. How will I get x? So 436 is in multiplication. Send it to, transpose it to RHS, so it becomes division. Okay, so dividing the final answer you get is x will be 50. Okay, so dividing this, the final answer x is 50. But what is x? X is nothing but the first integer, isn't it? So the first integer is 50. Let me write it here. The first integer I am getting it as 50. So second integer is x plus 1. So it is 50 plus 1 is 51. Third integer is x plus 2. So it is 52. So these are the consecutive integers. Got it? So simple. If you can write this step. So next thing is only calculations, isn't it? Let us move on to the next one. In a class of 40 pupils, okay, so total number of students are how many? Total number of students are 40. So total number of students are 40. In a class of 40 students, the number of girls is 3/5 the number of boys. So the girls are compared with boys, isn't it? So let us take boys as x. Let the number of boys, let us take it as x, because girls are compared with reference to boys. So what is the number of girls? Number of girls you will get it as, see, girls are 3/5 of boy. 3/5 means 3 by 5 of boys. So you'll write it in this way, 3/5. That means 3 by 5th part. So 3 by 5 x. Okay, x is the number of boys. Clear? So now you see you have to find the number of boys in the class. But here it is given that total number of students is 40. That means girls plus boys. Number of girls plus number of boys will give you the total students, isn't it? So girls is how much? 3 by 5x. Boys is x. Will give you 40. 40 is the total number. Simplify this, you will get the answer. So this is nothing but just take LCM. So taking LCM, this is 3x plus 5x divided by 5. LCM is 5 is equals to 40. Simple cross multiply, 3x plus 5x is 8x. So 8x by 5 is 40. So 8x is 40 multiplied by 5. Here 5 is in division, sending it to RHS, it becomes multiplication. Here 8 is in multiplication, transposing it to RHS, it becomes division. So this is divided by 8. So 8 ones are 8, 5s are 40. So x is nothing but 25. Now what is x? X is nothing but the number of boys, you have taken it as x. So number of boys in the class is 25. Clear? So the next question. After 15 years, Mary's age will be 4 times of her present age. Okay, so present age, let us take it as x. So let present age is x. So after 15 years, what is Mary's age? We did similar problem in exercise 2.4 also. So after 15 years, Mary's age will be what? It will be present age plus 15, isn't it? So this will be Mary's age after 15 years. But what is given? Mary's age, see the condition, Mary's age after 15 years. After 15 years is equals to 4 times her present age. Okay, it is 4 times her present age. Okay, so using this condition, we are going to write the statement. So Mary's age after 15 years is nothing but x plus 15. So x plus 15 is equals to 4 times present age. 4 times means 4 multiplied by present age is x. So it is 4x. Just send this x to RHS. So 15 is equals to 4x. This becomes minus x. So it is 3x. 4x minus x is 3x is 15. So what is the value of x? X is nothing but, so sending 3 to LHS. So this becomes 15 divided by 3. So 3 ones are 3 5s are. So x is 5. So x is nothing but Mary's present age. So this is 5 years. Okay, let us move on to the next one. Arvind has a kiddie bank. It has full of 1 rupee and 50 paise coins. It contains 3 times as many 50 paise coins as 1 rupee coin. Here which two quantities are compared? 50 paise and 1 rupee are compared. Now you just see 50 paise is compared with 1 rupee. 50 paise is compared with 1 rupee. That means 1 rupee is a reference, isn't it? So you will take 1 rupee as x. Okay, so let 1 rupee coin. number of 1 rupee coins, you take it as x. Okay, so this is number of 1 rupee coins, you take it as x. Okay, so what is the number of 50 pice coins? So 50 pice coins, how will you get 50 pice coins is nothing but, see, it contains 3 times as many 50 pice coins as 1 rupee coins. Okay, it contains 3 times as many 50 pice coins as 1 rupee coins. Okay, so it is 3 times of 1 rupee coins. It is 3x. Simple, right? Now, what is the total amount? The total amount of money in the bank is 35. Okay, so total amount is 35. Okay, now if I add both the 1 rupee and 50 pice coins, I'll get the total amount, isn't it? So total number of 1 rupee coins. Okay, if I add both the 1 rupee, okay, let me write it in this way. If I add 1 rupee coins plus 50 pice coins, okay, adding 1 rupee and 50 pice coins gives me the total amount, which is 35. Isn't it 35 rupees? Okay, so how many 1 rupee coins are there? 1 rupee coins are x. Okay, 1 rupee coins are x. So it is 1 multiplied by x. Plus, how many 50 pice coins are there? 50 pice value is 50 by 100. Okay, 50 pice is nothing but half of 1 rupee, isn't it? So it is 50 by, in 1 rupee you have 100 paise. So it is 50 by 100, or simply you can say it is half of 1 rupee. Okay, so simply converting it into rupees, multiplied by how many are there? It is 3x is equals to 35. Okay, so 1 into x is x plus, so 51s are 52s are 1 by 2. I told you can write it directly also, into 3x is equals to 35. Solve this now. So you have x plus, so this is nothing but 3x by 2. 1 into 3x is 3x. So 3x by 2 is equals to 35. Take LCM. So you have 2x plus 3x is equals to 35. 2x plus 3x is 5x by 2 is 35. So what is 5x? 5x is nothing but 35 multiplied by 2. 2 is in division. So transposing it to LHS, it becomes multiplication. So 5x is 35 by 2. So what is the value of x? So let me send this 5 to RHS. So it will be 35 multiplied by 2. This is in multiplication. Transposing it to RHS, it becomes division. So 5 ones are 5 sevens are. So x is nothing but 7 twos are 14. Okay, so what is x? X is the number of 1 rupee coins. Okay, so 1 rupee coins are how many? They are 14. What about 50 pice coins? 50 pice coins, how are you getting? Just see. 50 pice coins are 3 times. Just see here. 50 pice coins are 3x, isn't it? So 50 pice coins are 3x. So it is 3 into 14, which means 52, isn't it? 3 fours are 12, so it is 42. Okay, so 42 50 pice coins you have. Okay, so 40 to 50 pice coins you have, and 14 1 rupee coins you have. Okay, so simple. Let me give you one example to understand this problem even better. So see, suppose if you have 10 rupees with you, if you have 10 rupees with you, and out of 10 rupees you have 5 rupee coin and 2 rupee coin. Okay, you have 5 rupee coin and say 1 rupee coin you have. Okay, 5 rupee coin you have, 1 rupee coins you have, isn't it? So how many 5 rupee coins will have? I told you will have one 5 rupee coin. Okay, plus how many 1 rupee coins you will have? You will have 5 1 rupee coins. Okay, so this is 5 rupee. The value is 5 rupee. You will multiply with the coins. Okay, number of coins. This is 1 rupee is the value of 1 rupee. You will multiply with number of coins. Okay, so 1 into 5 is 5 plus 5 into 1 is 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So total 10 rupees you have. Okay, you can take other example also. If 5 and 1 is confusing for you, try it with 12. Suppose if you have 12 rupees, so I say you have 1 5 rupee coin. Okay, plus you have 2 3 rupees coins. Sorry, 3 2 rupees coin if you have. Okay, so this is 2 rupees. Okay, so this is the value. I'm telling this is rupees, 2 rupees. This is 5 rupees. So value multiplied by number. Okay, here also value multiplied by number. So gives you the total amount, which is 12, isn't it? I have one 5 rupee coin, Okay, so that means I have 5 rupees and 2 3 rupees coins. So 2 3s are, I have 6 rupees of 2 rupee coins. Okay, so total is 12. So similar thing we are doing here. So 1 rupee coin value is 1. So 1 into x I am doing. Number of coins is x. So 1 into x plus 50 pice coins value is half of 1 rupee. So half of the number of coins you're doing. Okay, so adding these two, you'll get 35. So I hope these prompts are clear to you. If yes, don't forget to like the video. Like the video right now. Give it a big thumbs up. Share the channel with all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also tell me how did you like the video. You can give your views, suggestions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.